What is going on, people? It is TSM Fish in the North. Now, there's a question I got asked a few times when I was down at the White Lake doing some trout fishing. What is the best fly rod for a beginner? What do I start off with? What line do I get? What rod? What flies? What all this? What do I get to start off fly fishing? And I just simply say, buy a combo because they're cheap. You can buy literally an €80 rod reel line, all that, compared to an expensive rod which would cost you 200. So you're saving a lot of money, and if you don't like it, you're not losing too much. So is a cheap rod really better than an expensive rod? I mean, I was given an expensive rod to try out on the grass, and it was smooth, it was good to cast, it was really good, but that rod cost €400, but it was pure good. Now the question is, how good does a rod have to be? Now, personally for me, I don't really, fly fish that much. I fly fish many times, but not as much as lure fish. And I'm a big lure angler, big into that kind of thing. But I've only fly fished a handful of times, and I have caught fish. Fly fishing is so addicting, but the issue is I'm not the best myself. So I just thought to myself, I need a new fly rod anyway. So I went out and I got the AIRFLO fly fishing combo, and this is the 7 to 8. It's basically a 7-weight that's 8 foot long. So honestly, this thing looks really cool. Now, not gonna lie, I did open this thing already just to make sure everything was okay, because as you can see, this plastic is kind of bricked a little bit like that. It's just so obviously people were touching you, just to make sure it's okay. But it's a good combo. I mean, just first looking through it, you can see you get the rod, a case, a fly box, some glasses, which I think are too small for me, and a fly reel, which I believe has floating line. So we're going to read it. It says, included in the kit, AIRFLO 4-piece carbon fly rod, which is my favourite kind of rod to hold. I love carbon. Preloaded grab heat. I don't know how to say that. I'm bad at English. Leave me alone. Preloaded grab heat fly reel, which other means floating fly line. That's really what the show said. Protective rod tube, tapered mono leader, fly box and flies, sunglasses for eye protection. I hope they'll be able to see fish as well, because it is cheap, but we'll have to see, won't we? So, from first glance, you get a lot of things. For only €80, I paid 80 for this thing. I got a discount on it because I'm a big customer. Yeah. But what you get is pretty cool if you just look into it, which is really nice. Okay, people, at the back of the box, you can see it says which kits are the best for you, river and stream fishing, small. It basically just says each weight and what it's really for, which is actually quite accurate. So this is what you do. You have how to put on your fly line and fire it together, which is alright. The thing is that they show you how to tie the line and stuff, which is pretty basic. It's normal fishing. But they don't tell you how to put on the actual loops. Now, when I looked at the reel, it didn't look like it had loop. I didn't have a proper look at it now. I just had a look at the reel itself. Obviously just go with the flow, and it just has the same things down there. Obviously with the tag number. So, yeah. And my seat's gonna break. But we're gonna open this thing now. So, as you can see on the box, it's hard to see, but there's 1, 2, 3 little slaps, which you just obviously just flap open, like so. Then the whole piece comes off, almost as if you're opening like something like large. I don't know, just be quiet. Just gonna move back a little bit. So then you just open the top, and it's like Christmas. Now, I'm gonna say one thing. They packaged this rod perfectly. Like, this is pure foam. It's brilliant. So, on first glance, you get good things. So, obviously the actual carbon rod actually comes in a little plastic case, which I just took off. But so, first thing I took out was the rod. Now, honestly, this rod looks so damn good. It is pure carbon. It feels like a €200 rod. I mean, it's light, it's really light, really nice feel to it. It's got obviously the really nice metal at the back, nice float stopper for actually holding here if you're stripping. Good rod overall. Here it just simply says AIRFLO 10 to 7/8. So very, very good rod. Now, And obviously comes in 4 pieces, which is very nice for storage. You got this piece, which has 2 eyes on it. It's the second largest piece. You have this one, which has 3 eyes, and the eyes are a bit different on this. So you can see they kind of look like metal, kind of twisted. And the last piece is about 6 eyes, same thing. At the top is a very large hole for the line to go through, because when you're actually casting, if there's a very small hole, that line is going to go through very smoothly. With the rod out of the way, we're back left with this. So the next thing we'll open is the tube. Now, when you take out the tube, you think, oh, it's just the tube. But when you have a look, put it down for a second, you'll see when you put it down, it has this inside it. And if you just pull it out, you're like, oh, that's awful strange. As you can see, there is 4 lines. Don't break anything, Thomas. As you can see, there's 4 lines: large, second largest, second smallest, and smallest. Which is obviously to castrate with the rods. That's going to sound awful. So we'll go to that in a minute. But obviously the tube itself, because of that, it is just pure hollow inside. But it's very strong tube. Like, that's a very tough. Has the straps which are adjustable to your length. I mean, I'm quite large, but I probably won't be putting this on my back anyway. But it has a nice bit of foam in the top there for protecting your rods in very bad weather. Let's say if you're just driving in very bad weather or something, or you're carrying the tube more. So now we're left with just the reel, the box, and the glasses. So let's take out the glasses. And these are actually in a package. I just took them out just to make sure they fit me, which obviously they do. Yeah, smalley spotters. Good, you know? And then I'm going to keep these on because I look nice. But then we have all this left. It suits me fine. These actually suit a child just fine. And maybe an adult. I mean, I'm technically the size of an adult, but I'm almost 6 foot. So next thing you got is this fly box. And on first glance, can't see properly, mate. It's a nice little fly box. I mean, for a beginner, this is the size you need. You're not going to be getting 100 flies now, but this is just a good start. Now, I don't know if these flies they gave you are just strange, but I think these hooks are a little bit too big. I mean, hold on. I'll see if I can hold it by the nose. I mean, just look at the size of that hook. Now, I don't know too much now, but that's quite large to me. I'd shorten that if I was tying my own fly. So I don't know what that is. I know this one for fact is a mayfly. I think. I'm not sure. And I know what this one is. This one is a black cat's whisker, which is probably most flies beginners would start off with. It's the first fly I actually started off with, and when I caught my first fish with the fly on. So that's a nice little box. It's brilliant for a beginner. I already have like big boxes full of flies, but I'll happily use that. And the last thing, of course, is the reel. And obviously, what's cool about this packaging is that this is all good. Like, you can use this and stuff. So nothing will go to waste for this. I'll never be using that. But the reel itself is it's really nice. Obviously, there's packaging on it and stuff. Listen to that. That's the sound of the fish pulling. Now, it is a left-handed retrieve, but you can actually do right-handed. You just have to put out all the line and then reel it back the opposite way. But as you can see, that's the fish pulling the line and you're reeling it in. It's like a tinkly sound. And it already has the backing attached, or the actual leader, and it is about 2 arm lengths, let's just say. And then it goes from thin to thick, and then on the thick side, as you can see, it does not have those white little tips you'd put on the top. It just has it tied to the line. That's up to you. I'm going to leave it like that, but I've been told that it can sometimes affect your fly fishing if you're trying to bring in the fish and it starts to run. Now, I don't know too much because I've only ever have to do that a few times because I normally have a net with me. So and also on the reel we have a drag thing here, which basically just twist. So this is plus for obviously stronger drag, and minus for the lowest. So when it's low, very loose, while if it's actually quite tight, very tight. That's for bigger fish. Even though on this rod the biggest fish you'll probably catch will be maybe a pike, depends where you live, muskie, whatever. Over here, biggest fish you can catch on the fly in freshwater is technically a pike because carp are big carp, very rare in this country. But that's it for the reel, honestly. It's brilliant. It does what it needs to do very well. I'm proud of it. It has everything you need. Brilliant, brilliant reel. I mean, that's more or less everything. There's nothing else in the box. Everything's empty. It's all right there in front of you. So that box is now finished. Now, overall, what you get now is just a lot. You get literally a fly box with flies, which in Ireland would cost €2 each. That's 6. The box itself probably 5. I don't know. That's 7. The reel will cost you over 20. The line itself over 30 probably. The backing, I don't know. It's probably braid, I know. So this whole thing could cost you 60. The actual rod, because it'll come with all this. I mean, these days rods are €80. So 60, 80, and 7. You can do the maths, I don't know. But that's a lot more than this combo. This thing was €80. So do I recommend a fly fishing kit? If you're a beginner or you're an experienced angler with a very low budget, it's a perfect rod. It's absolutely perfect. It does what it needs to do. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm in a competition on Sunday, so I will be using it there. I'm not sure if I'll be filming, but I'm hoping it will. I'm definitely trying it out tomorrow. Probably. But overall, I'm just so impressed with the rod itself. It's so nice. It feels very nice in the hand. It's pure carbon. It feels like a very expensive rod to me. I mean, I've only held a few of them, and obviously that's the little knob in there. I forgot to mention for the fly, but it's just a quality product for what you get now. These days, buying a cheap fishing product is quite difficult, but I absolutely love it. And all that. But anyway, people, I am going to leave it there. The conclusion is, it's a brilliant beginning rod, and if you're a beginner, you don't want to buy, if you're an expert, you just don't want to buy another rod or just a very expensive combo, it works perfectly. But yeah, people, this is just a quality product. I will be using it very soon. But anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video on TSN Fishing North.